If you could borrow money at, let's say, 2% interest and invest it in something that paid 5% interest, would that be a good move? Well, stick around to find out. Finance is not a difficult subject. The ultimate goal of a financier is to create value for their investors. They create value by investing in projects that offer greater returns than are required by the investors. If the financier invests in a project that returns 5% per year and they're able to source the funding of that investment at 2%, then all else equal, they're creating value for their organization. However, it is important to note that at this point, we are assuming away all differences in risk, needs for liquidity, and preferences around the timing of cash flows. But in this overly simplified example, yes, they are absolutely creating value. Don't worry, we'll get into risk later in the course and come up with some good ways to measure and work with risk in our investment analyses. But for now, let's just think about all investment projects as having the same level of risk, as ridiculous as that may sound. But hey, we have to start somewhere, and this is just the beginning. One common error that people make when they think about investing is they assume that any positive return is creating value. But that's not necessarily the case. If you had to pay 10% interest to make an investment that only yielded 5%, you would actually end up destroying value. But if your only investment alternatives were to hold onto the cash, earning a return of 0%, or invested in a project that was expected to yield a positive return, let's say 2%, then it would be true that the project represents an opportunity for value creation because 2% return is greater than the 0% opportunity cost on the investment. But what if you could put your money in a savings account that yielded 2.5% instead of holding cash that earned 0%? Well, now you have a tougher choice to make. Which return is better, the project yielding 2% or the savings account yielding 2.5%? All else equal, now the better investment is probably to keep your money in your savings account because the cost of funds for the project just became 2.5%. Wait, what? Yeah, I can imagine you saying, but my money is my money and I don't have to pay anyone to use it, which is true. But because you have the opportunity to make another investment, in this case, the savings account, we can say that you have an opportunity cost of 2.5% on the capital. An opportunity cost is just the amount you would have to forego if you invested anywhere else. So investing it in anything that returns less than 2.5% would be a suboptimal investment decision. Because you could have had 2.5% at the bank, and this isn't even considering risk, where it's likely that your bank is insured, meaning your savings account is very safe, while your other project may not be quite as safe. But I get ahead of myself. We need to leave risk out of the equation for now. The role of the financial manager in the value creation process is clear. Financial managers strive to gain access to lower cost capital, make better investment decisions, manage risk where possible. I know, I just can't seem to stop talking about risk when I talk about returns, but you'll soon see that there is a good reason for that. Anyways, finance managers ultimately want to generate superior returns for their investors. Ultimately, finance managers want to generate superior risk-adjusted returns for their investors.